Sawadee. Good. How about you? Yeah. No kids? No kids, no husband. You're free. Aren't you lucky? Uh, he's from Finland, yeah? Uh, but he went back to Finland or no? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Long time. Oh, yeah. All right, now let's see. Is this working here? Is this thing on? Is this thing on? It looks like we're starting to get some people coming back, but I don't know what happened. 1 minute I'm on and everything works good, and the next minute, what is this? True Tone cable? If you're not using, what? Wait a minute. Something's going on here. It's working. Okay. But I got a little bit of an issue here on my end. Good Starbucks. Starbucks. Yeah, my internet is quite slow right now. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Okay, now I'm getting it here. If you're not using that True Tone cable I sent you in the mail a while back, my friend here could use it. She plans to get an electric guitar. I got no idea, man. I got to talk to my kid. I don't know if he's using it or not. He's got so much stuff now. I'll have to check with him. But yeah, I don't know, you know. Who is this, Andrew? Andrew, first of all, I did say thank you, and as far as I know, you only gave me one, and I always say thank you to everybody, so if you don't like that, that's just tough shit. And you're the one who got it, you know, I call it like it is, pal. If you don't like it, that's your problem. I told you you're juvenile in the way you think, and the way you think about women, and the way you think about Thailand, and you didn't like it. You're the one who, you know, you gave me $5, dude. That's all I know you ever gave me. One time. I don't know about any other time. If you don't like it, don't come in the channel. Don't come in the chat. Simple as that. He would have had to get Rocksmith, but I think he's past that. It's useless otherwise. I'll ask him, Sasha. He may remember. I don't know. I mean, he's got literally... his room is full of equipment and cables and all kinds of shit. So, you know, I will ask him. It's called the True Tone cable. All right, where you need the Rocksmith. So. Let's see here. Yeah, it's USB to get guitar connector with a black box in the middle. I can send you a message online or something. Yeah, do that. He just got something called an I think it's an interchange. He got it where he connects his guitar to the box and then the box to his laptop, and he can record and do all kinds of stuff with it. And that was about $200, which is apparently like, you know, middle of the road type interchange or whatever the thing is called. right, so where's Gennaro and everybody else? They haven't come back yet? That's the looks like we've dropped off here a little bit from the other stream. I don't know what happened. My phone is working 1 minute. I'm streaming with my phone. It's working. The next thing I know, it just closes. And it may be because my phone is just about filled up. The storage is just about filled up. But I didn't think that really had anything to do with streaming. So. Let me see here. Now, my usually if you have a problem with, it's not overheating. No, definitely not. Usually, if you have a problem with the YouTube software on your phone, it will allow you to resume streaming right from, in the same stream. But this one, the resume button wasn't there, so that means the stream just stops. And I don't know why. I have no idea why, and I probably will never figure it out. Who knows? Anyway. The girls are keen for things to open. I think it's not just the girls. I think everybody is keen for the place to open. And that goes everywhere in the world, not just Thailand. Hang in there, mate. I have no issues, man. I mean, I don't like it, but it's no problem for me. Everything's good, man. It's all good. It's all good here. Aside from not being able to go home and see my parents, which I could do if I really wanted, yeah, everything is pretty much the same, and having to wear a mask, everything is pretty good. Even Andy said that in one of the videos that I made with him in it, where I guess it was just the one that I put up this morning, where this place almost seems normal, aside from people wearing masks. I mean, if you look, this girl's got a mask on. She's sitting here with a drink, and she's got a mask on. People coming in from outside, they have masks on. But other than that, everything's pretty good. That, and you want to go in and you want to go out of the country, it's a bit of a pain in the ass because you got to get tested and you got to fill out lots of paperwork. But for me, that doesn't matter. It's irrelevant for the most part. Anyway, yeah, that's about it, eh? Wearing it inside, that's bad enough. But then if you go outside and you're in a place where there's a bunch of people or there's nobody, it's like, what the? I don't want to wear a mask. I came on the motorbike today again, and I didn't wear a mask. Nobody's complaining. And now with the whole, Sasha, I'm sure you saw this, where Anatin said, oh, there's no legal reason for people to wear their mask. Well, if there's no legal reason, then why would you fine people? Why would you not just nicely say, could you please put a mask on, instead of saying you're a dirty farang because you're not wearing your mask, you should be deported. It makes no sense to me, and that's part of the problem. Is mask still required outside? Technically, yes. Yeah, that's what I mean. And then a year before, he's saying, if you're not going to take the mask that we're giving you for free and wearing it, then you should be deported, you filthy foreigner. It doesn't make sense, you know. And you know, listen, I understand if you go into a store, you go into a mall, you go into a grocery store, whatever it might be, I understand they say, hey, you got to wear a mask here. Hey, it's their place. If it's their place, you go by their rules, or you just don't go in. You just say, no, I'm not going to go there. But when you go outside, that's a different story. Well, that's not going to happen, pal. I have a dirty ass, you Tim. I put it to go in 7-Eleven, macro, immigration, whatever. Otherwise, no. Yeah, me too. You go into 7-Eleven, you don't have. It's across the nation. You go into and you know, different areas are a little bit tougher and more strict with that mandate or that request than others. Hawaii is mask inside only now. Yeah, I understand. That's how it is in a lot of places. And in some places, it doesn't matter if you wear a mask inside or not, in some states. So, good luck putting all the foreigners in camps. We're not the Japanese living in America, where we're going to be put in internment camps. I'm going to be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, or I'll be hiding under the bed. They're not going to get me. I'm sorry. You may like to think that, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, Denmark is masked nowhere. Yeah, whatever, you know. Anyway, let me see here. We were talking about Joe Rogan and Spotify. They took out 113 episodes. You can't blame him for going for the money. I mean, I'm sure he had plenty of money already. But, you know, to get an extra 100 mil, that's the fuck you money right there, you know. And I didn't even, you know, I heard a little bit of his apology. I didn't watch the whole thing. And, you know, he was basically apologizing for using the N-word, which even in the context that he was using it, it wasn't really anything that could be construed as racist. You know, you're not allowed to even say the word if we're even referring to when people say that. It's just fucking ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous. And the comedian, MC, and commentator has come to greater public scrutiny in recent weeks after a boycott by veteran artists like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell. Listen, they're fucking ancient. And while Neil Young has some good songs, Joni Mitchell, forget about her. She's been over and done since, you know, 2 years after she started. But Neil Young, I mean, yeah, he's still got some good music, but, like, who cares? Obviously, Spotify cares because, you know, Neil Young does have a little bit of clout. And I think if they start doing this, and you know, there's gonna, what it does is it makes people say, oh, we got away with it. Now they're, you know, if we have a problem with somebody, we can cancel them. It's like, you know, like I said the other day, I don't think that that's good, you know. Yeah, dude, you gotta kind of watch what you say here, all right? And I don't know who you are. I mean, I vaguely remember you, but maybe I don't. Yeah, I already said that. I said they removed 113 episodes. I did say that, but thank you. Anyway, let me see here. What is your experience in marriage with a Thai woman as a foreigner or Farang? How is a Thai wife different from another woman? Well, I don't know, because I've never been married to another woman. I have lived with 2 other women. I think 2. It says, my Thai wife and I have been together for going on 6 years, though not married the whole time. We lived together for 2 of them. My ex-wife, a Canadian, and I were together 20 years, and it was a great relationship. I never planned on having a Thai girlfriend, let alone a wife, but things happened. She worked hard to get me and kept working to keep me happy for some years. There's still a lot of good things about my wife, and some that downright tick me off. Try and explain. Money and more money. Mine has never asked for a salary to send money home, lend money to family members, buy cars, or any of that. She wanted to have her own business, as do most. I think this guy's a fucking nutcase. She wanted to have her own business, went bust, of course, and I lost a fair chunk of money that she promised to pay back. Never seen a bot in 3 years. All she wants to do is start another business, and I'm expected to throw her about $1 million baht and a 30,000 baht a month salary. All right, this guy's an idiot. That's all I'm going to say. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Oh, did I hide that guy? I meant to hide the comment. Oops. Let me see. How do I do that? Delete the message, remove. And that's how you do it. So I unhid you. I didn't mean for you to get hidden. Just be careful on what you say about politics and stuff. And I don't mean to cancel you, but it affects the channel for sure. She better be the world's best fuck. You know, that's $1,000 a month. She doesn't deserve a salary if she's got a business. You know, spent all my money at new land laying ties. $69.70. That was a long time ago. That was when things were not like they are now. Nothing like they are now. They're much different now. Hey guys, do me a favor. You know, when I see a percentage, when you have like 50 people watching and you got 15 thumbs up, I think maybe people just need to like click the like button. That would be something nice to do. I understand you don't want to like throw money at me or buy my shit. You know, I understand. Not everybody wants to do that or can do that. I understand. But, you know, if you're going to watch and you like continue to watch, and I know there's people who are leaving thumbs down and all that, that's fine. But if you like it, leave a thumbs up. It's good for my algorithm. It's good for the long term of the channel, apparently. I don't make the rules. We started Patia on R&R, yes. I bought some of your shit. Well, hopefully it wasn't shit. Hopefully it was decent, at least. There's a couple of things going to be happening, and one is I'm changing T-shirt providers. Not because the quality wasn't decent or good, but because their service, for me, their service to me sucks, and that's not good. And because they're charging me to have I already have a domain that I paid for through GoDaddy, and they've decided that they're going to charge people every year who connect their domain to their service, when in the past it was free. And that doesn't bother me that they're charging you. What bothers me is that they didn't even tell me. They didn't tell anybody. It was just kind of slid in there. Hey, we're charging you now. And it's only $12, but it's the principle. If you're gonna do something like that, don't be sneaky about it, you know, with somebody who's your customer. That's me. So I'm changing T-shirt providers. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you love me. You must be stupid then to love me. Because there's only a few people who love me, and they know me really well. They know the really good parts of me, not only the bad parts. You don't know me for shit, and if you love me, you got problems, buddy. That's all I got to say. I wouldn't love me knowing somebody online like you know me. I wouldn't love me no matter how much you paid me. T-Cradat, thank you very much. How many bottles of water can you buy to 7-Eleven with this donation? Well, what is 20 Canadian is how many baht? It's got to be about what, 500 baht? Let's see, am I right? Let's see if we can figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. 500, right? 516. Hey, I was pretty good, huh? That was off the top of my head. That will buy, well, it depends. If you buy a little tiny bottle, that's 5 baht each. But if you buy a bottle about this size, they're about 10 baht. You can get them for cheaper. You can get them for more, but let's just say 10 baht. So you get 50 bottles of water. So there you go. That helps, for sure. Thank you. Choke D and all that good stuff. And to the guy who loves me, or the girl who loves me, or whatever, you better recognize. You sound like a chowderhead, man. That's Canadian, not Cameroon. Oh, God. That's funny. Yes, I'm sure. Anyway, what time is it now? 10:15. Now, let me go back over this here. There are people thirsty on the streets. Really? Where? Because I don't see them in Thailand. If they are, they're in Pattaya. They're not in Bangkok. Yeah, this guy was a knucklehead. Thailand has all the people types you have from where you are. Now, that's true. You will meet them and not know, care. Ignorance is bliss, as they say. You know what? Maybe he's not that bad after all. What do you think? How I think? I know that ostriches don't really stick their heads under the ground. But if they did, or if the occasional one actually does, that's what I do. Most of the time, I just want to stick my head under the ground. I don't want to know about anything. I don't want, and I hate to say this. I used to think Longhorns was a bit strange for thinking that way. And then, some things have happened and time has gone by, and now I'm like, what the fuck? I don't care about anything other than, as I've said, there's a few things I care about, and that's it. So why not just worry about that shit and everything else? What Joe Biden does, if he falls asleep while he's got his finger up his ass, if it doesn't really matter. None of that matters. Anyway, I don't know how I went off on a tangent on that, but it says here, ignorance. Ignoring social strata is a good way to really get to know a place. Making assumptions about your own position in society and that of others leads to reducing exposure to a complete view of social... All right, whatever. Getting married is a massive commitment. Well, it is. It is most successful when both parties understand each other. I'm always scratching my strawberries. Oh, man. Well, Charles, Um, I don't believe life is without meaning. Uh, but what I think is you need to pick and choose what's important in life. And when you really think about it, hey, would I like to have a Lamborghini? Like, yeah, I guess if I had plenty of money and I could fix it if there were problems, and I had everything legal, I had insurance, and I was capable of taking care of the thing. Of course I would. But do I really give a shit if I don't have one? No, not really. And I gotta say, I was looking at what was it? The guy yesterday that you guys were telling me about, Andrew Tate. And, I know some of it is his shtick of what he, stands for and everything. And some of the shit, I was like, man, I just don't agree with the way this guy thinks and lives. I mean, like, I just don't want to have to, like, I couldn't give two shits if chicks like me or not. I never really have. I mean, when I was young, I did, because I always wanted to get laid. Once I started getting laid, it was like, I'm going to get laid. I know it's going to happen, so, eventually it's going to happen. I might not get it right when I want it, but I will. So you just go, hold on for the ride, and then when you do, you enjoy it, Why do so many idiots want to be in power? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, like, why would you want... First of all, why would you even want to be president nowadays? Why would you want to be in charge of the country? Because I can do so much good for the country. Yeah, like they're Abraham Lincoln. Go-go bars. Nice God, I'm coming in March. I work online, so I'm going to try and live in Thailand as long as I can. Visa runs are a bit of an issue now. They're not a bit of an issue, they are an issue. So it's rough, but any advice on areas in Bangkok to stay? Depends on how much money you got, man. I'd love to stay in the Tonglor area or some of the other Wireless Road, somewhere like that. What's that other place? What the hell am I thinking of now? The place with the Muse. The Muse Hotel. That's not Wireless. Lang Suan. Places like that. I mean, I wouldn't mind living places like that, but why you gotta live in Bangkok? If I had it my way, I wouldn't even live in Bangkok. I mean, I live here now because this is where we've lived, and we got kids, and they're going to school, and we don't want to leave them alone and be living in, Hua Hin or Koh Samui or something like that. Hola, Roman. It depends on how much dough you got, man. And do you need to stay? Are you planning on buying a motorcycle? Are you going to ride the BTS? I mean, that's always a good thing. But like me, I live about 5 minutes from this place here, and they're building the monorail, and so eventually it'll be quite easy. But it's still 5 minutes away. It's like if it's pouring rain and you got to go to the SkyTrain, that's not the same as walking like, a minute and you're right there at the station. And those places tend to cost a little bit more. True, the older I get, the more BS I cut out of my life. I am getting your point. Yeah, it's not that I don't think that life... I mean, I think if we're going to be on the planet, we might as well do something worthwhile. Whether you're a doctor or you take care of animals and you're a vet or whatever it might be. Or you make people laugh and you provide them with information on YouTube, whatever it might be. I think you got to have some kind of reason just to make your life somewhat worthwhile. But at some point, I think, like, especially some of these guys who got millions and millions of dollars. I'm not talking about a couple of million or even like 5 million. I'm talking about some of these guys got, $300 million. What the fuck do you need to keep working for? Why not enjoy your life and travel a little bit and, just do it right, man. Go out right. SR didn't get to finish my message, so they can screw women, so instead they are happy screwing the public. that's over my head there. I missed that. If you're near the BTS or MRT, you are good to go. Yes. I thought you wanted to live in Klong Toi. Listen, I'm sick and tired of that place, man. It's gotten on my nerves. And yeah, Klong Toi is a big place. It doesn't only have the slum. It doesn't only have the market, which is, not the nicest market. There are some places in Klong Toi that you can't go out. Always someone. But yeah, I wouldn't want to live over there anyway, really, for the most part. Nobody's afraid of becoming poor or more than a filthy rich person. Well, I love Bangkok, about the safest and easiest capital city to get around, although I do quite fancy the idea of living in Hua Hin or even Jomtien for crazy cheap. Crazy cheap. I think you'll find if you actually... Oh, thanks a lot there, Stephen. Thank you very much. How's it going? Appreciate that. Choke deed to you. Let me read this, finish this question or this comment. Crazy cheap. Let me get back to that, all right? Stephen, Scott, do you recommend buying or renting a condo if you plan to stay long term? I'm going to turn that over to Patty or Bob. Personally, I'm not big on buying a place if you don't know you're going to stay here. I mean, I have roots here now. So, to buy a place, I'm not worried, if the thing, obviously I'd like the price to go up, but I'm not too worried about, if we got to rent it out or something, or we want to rent it out and we're gone for a long time. I'm not really that worried about it. As long as, my kids always have a place to stay, my wife always has a place to stay, it's fine with me, but to buy a place. But if you're a single guy and you're just coming over here and you don't have much experience, I would say wait. Yeah, Hua Hin to me is, I like it. It's a nice place. However, it is and was far more congested than I thought it would be. Somebody said something about, I think it was Chiang Mai, being congested, and I'm like, it's nowhere near as congested as Hua Hin. I mean, maybe in some areas, but for the most part, I was like, son of a bitch, man, there's a lot of traffic here in Hua Hin. Better places to go. Jomtien, again, I'm just not a fan of those places. They're not places for me, but for some people, they really like them. Like, Pattaya Bob loves Pattaya. I don't. I don't hate it. And I guess maybe if I was single, I'd live on the outskirts, away from where all the action is or was. And Hua Hin, is, well, I mean, for me, it's quite a bit different, man. I don't know what kind of situation you're in, but I like any of the islands that I can be alone. I like to be alone, and then maybe I like Krabi. I like Suratani. You take an hour-long drive and you're out in the middle of the jungle and there's nobody there. You got a little place there, or even on the outskirts of the city. It's far. There's not that many people, and you got your own little world there. For me, that's what I prefer. But Stephen Kim, in my opinion, buy only if you're sure you will be living here for 15 to 20 years. Otherwise, rent. Yeah, exactly. Because, a lot of people, they think, oh my God, Thailand, it's the best. And in many ways, it is the best. But I would say you better give it some time, because things will change. Things have changed since I've been here. Quite a bit. There's a lot more buildings. There's a lot more of the BTS wasn't even built. There are a lot less bars, and for some people that's very important. They want to hit the bar scene. There's far less bars than there used to be. The nightlife scene is not what it used to be. What the hell was the name of that place? The Q Bar. That place at one time was like the hottest place, and the Bed. Those places were hot spots. NASA Vegas. which is now just, they got just an apartment, a shitty apartment slash hotel. Things change, you know. And so if you're not really committed, you know, once I got married, I was like, I'm committed to being with my wife. Then once we had kids, I'm like, all right, you know, I'm fairly committed to them being here because it's safe, because there's a lot of good reasons. But I also know that they have the option of going back to the United States. They can study there. They can do many things as Americans that they can't as Thais. But yeah, I like Krabi. I like Koh Samui. I like some of the other smaller islands. I like Koh Chang. The bars are there. You just got too old for that life. Yeah, you may say that, but they were there before the pandemic. I don't know that they're going to be back in force like they used to be. And I wouldn't count on it, to be honest. Yeah, I love Krabi. Riley is awesome. Well, Riley, there's ATMs on Riley. But Riley, you would get tired of that if you know, living there would be, I think you would get sick of it real quick, man. It's so small that you would just, is there anything there? ATM, yes, there's ATM. I did do a video and some live streams from Riley, and it's a fantastic place to go and hang out for, say, a week, maybe a few days. And I like Khao as well, but I don't know if I would live there. I'm in UK. We've moved on from COVID, but Thailand are still wallowing in it. I thought Bangkok would be the best place for me. I would say, in the beginning, stay in Bangkok for a while, get yourself settled, and then take a few little, 3-4 day trips, week-long trips, and go to a few places and check them out. I mean, if you can afford it, go to some of these places, check them out, get the vibe of the place. You know, I do like the vibe in Hua Hin. I do like the vibe in Prachuap Khiri Khan, Cha'am, Krabi. You know, I do like the vibe in these areas. I personally like the coastal areas and the beaches and that kind of stuff. I also like Chiang Rai, though. So, you know, Scott, I put up a video drive where you can see what's open now in Pattaya. Yeah, you can put the link up in here. I don't know if I can do that myself, or let me see. I don't know if you can do it. I don't know if it'll allow you to do it. I'll find out in a moment. It'll let me do it. It might not let you. I don't know. Let's see here. First, I got to get to your channel. Heard it was nice. Let me see here. Well, what is the? Where is your channel? Let's see here. Bob Pattaya. Well, I don't even know where you are, Bob. Bob Pattaya. I'm not getting Pattaya Bob. Is it all one word? Let me see. Okay, there you are. There you are. Okay, Saturday night. I'm going to put this link up here. Go ahead and subscribe to Bob's channel. And here you are. There you go. There you go. That's the link. Bob is a prolific driver. I really want Chuck to come and go to Pattaya with me, Bob, but now he's going back to the United States because for a funeral, and he's got to leave. So, yeah. Good morning, Mr. Mitch. Ban Bob for wearing a mask in his That's my link? Is it? What did I do? How did I put up my link? No. Yeah, I did. What did I do there? Okay, well, let me do this again here. I'm gonna have to go all the way to his channel. Let me put it up again. Gotta give Bob credit where credit is due. I have one from yesterday going up today where the girls are just setting up and barely dressed. That's the kind of video everybody wants to see. Scantily clad women. All right, so now people are coming in droves here into the mall. But yeah, there's a lot of places that that you can stay. Like, I mean, for some people they might like Pattaya, and it's not that I dislike it, because that's not true. I do like it. There's some cool things there. I just don't like the whole thing of maybe it's, call me narcissistic or whatever it might be, but I just like to know that I'm not like living among Westerners. If I wanted to live among Westerners, I would be back home in the United States. And I don't want to be living in a place where they're like, welcome, please come inside, hello, handsome man, and all that other bullshit. I don't want to be like that, Bring hose and F. I have a feeling I know what the letter is missing there. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, man. Choke D to you. If you want me to go pick you and Chuck up, if he is around another few days, at least you can spend a day here. Unfortunately, he's leaving tomorrow. And I may meet with him tomorrow, because we need to meet up. He and I need to meet up before he leaves. But and I was thinking about talking to Gennaro about meeting with him as well, but we don't know what time Chuck is gonna. Chuck is, he's a little difficult at times, because he won't say, oh, I'm gonna get up at 8 o'clock and I'll be there at 9 o'clock to get my test, and then I will go and meet you guys, and then I'll get the test results when I'm done with you, and then that night I'm gonna fly out. No, he'll be like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure if I'm gonna wake up and what time and it. And I'm like, okay, so maybe, later this week or sometime next week. It also depends on what Andy is doing. Maybe I'll hook up with Andy and go down there. I don't know. But thank you. The only time I get the hello handsome man is the bar girls and ladyboys that come over to the beach for the weekend. Well, I haven't got that for a long time, I'll say that. So maybe I'm not so handsome, and maybe they haven't wanted me to come inside so often. That's what happens when you get older. They want the younger guys, and they want the older guys where they can see the bulge in their pants. And I'm not talking about the bulge in the front. I'm talking about the bulge in the back, like a big bulging wallet full of cash. It's like the English guy moving to Tenerife in Spain. Every next place is an English place. Exactly. I didn't move over here because I thought, oh, I want to be around a bunch of foreigners. It's a really cool place. No, I didn't. That's not why I came here. I came here because, first of all, I came here, I thought I was going to be training in Muay Thai for a long time, and maybe I'll fight and all this other kind of stuff. And, in the beginning I did, but it didn't really work out that way, because I realized I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me if I ever get into with anybody good. And I was a little bit too old. But I came here because I wanted to be around Thai people. Would love to meet up with you and Andy before I head out on the next road trip, the 12th. Yeah, I don't know. I think Andy said he's going on the 10th. I don't know. See, I'm not sure because my wife is taking off, and I'm not sure if she's taking off on the 10th or the 11th or the 12th. I don't remember when she's leaving and when she's coming back. She's only going to be gone a few days, but I kind of need to be, I need to be around home. First of all, because I don't want to leave Alex all alone there. Not that he can't take care of himself, but, they're not used to being alone. They get lonely. Even Nicholas was like, "Oh, I miss you guys," And I was like, "What? Really?" It didn't take long. And also, nobody's going to be around. So if something happens, I need to be fairly close. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but yo, good morning, Sawasdee Krap. How old were you, Scott, when you moved to Thailand? I was 32. I just turned 32. I didn't come to Thailand to hang out with white folk either, but along the way I've met some good friends. Yes, I have as well. Andy is coming on the 10th or 11th. Yeah, I mean, maybe I can go for the day. I don't know. I got to talk to my wife. And no, it's not because she's going to say, yes, I can go, or no, I can't. It has nothing to do with it. It's just a matter of timing, because I like to know that if anything happens, one of us is around and we can get to where we need to be very quickly. What is going on here? Man, I'm telling you, Starbucks, and it made me feel better the other day because Soy Dog Cowboy said the same thing. He's like, Starbucks, their internet always sucks. And their internet really does suck. You're supposed to be able to stay connected like all day until midnight. And yet every 20 minutes or so, the thing disconnects. Bob, I will be in touch. I'll let you know, and I'll talk to Andy as well. And by the way, Wednesday morning, there's another video, and Andy will be in the video as well. And this one's a little bit different. This video, it might be a little surprised. It might surprise you a little bit. What's in the video and what goes on. Let me see here. Mr. Mitch, where are you going? Just curious. Anywhere exciting? Yeah, their internet is terrible. I'm really disappointed in it, to be honest. I'm always disappointed in it. It's so goddamn slow. So the next time you go to Starbucks, if you want, try to hook up to their Wi-Fi and see how long it hangs in there and it actually works. Kochang Kokut Trat. Okay, nice places. Yeah, it'll be quiet. Kokut is nice, man. I like that place. That's one of my favorite islands. I mean, I like it, I don't know it's the favorite, but it is one of my favorites. You can get a kayak and just go along the edge of the coast. And there's little places you can stop and have coffee, and you can just relax, little coves you can go into. It's a really cool place, man. I really liked it a lot. And Koh Chang, yeah, it's nice. You know where I'd like to go, but I haven't been in a long time, and I don't want to go there now because of the oil spill, but Koh Samet, because I haven't been there in so many years. I'd like to see how it's changed, and if I remember, what's the difference and all that kind of stuff. But I want to get back to something before we finish up here, because, well, We got a little bit of time. I want to get back to the whole thing here. Let's see here. Okay, I want to get to this message from Sasha. This is not the Sasha in the chat. This is another Sasha who's been living here for 10 years. He writes, where to start? As with anywhere in the world, there are good and bad, and good who turn bad from greed or pressure from their families. The latter is more so here. Again, what do you expect if you hook up and you are a guy who is fairly successful? You may be making 50,000 US a year, and you might think, I'm poor. But you come here and, you tell somebody how much you're making, and they might go, oh shit, really? Wow. Tell them you're making a couple 100,000 a year and see their eyes light up. But, what do you expect? You meet some girl who's on the farm who thinks, because she goes out and spends 5,000 baht, that's a shitload of money. Maybe she goes and buys a TV for 5,000 baht, and she's like, oh, what do you expect from them? I mean, the only thing that I would hope is that, here we go again. Oh, sorry, locked. The only thing that I would hope is that, they'd be decent with you and be honest. But unfortunately, that's not always the case, because if they're honest, most smart guys are not going to go, oh, you need a new TV and you want a gold chain and you want a brand new iPhone 13 Pro Plus and you want this and you want that. Oh, well, that's only about $10,000 US. That's no problem. I'll give it to you, baby. That's not how it works, and so that's why they resort to deceit, at least some of them. So you can't really blame them, but if you go in knowing I need to be careful and only I can open my wallet, then there's no problem. You open it if you want to open it. You don't open it if you don't want it. They call Thailand the land of smiles, so many smiles which have so many meanings. Yes, he knows this place. Some will be out to scam you from the start. Some are kind, loving, and not out for money, but instead just out for a better life for themselves and families. Sadly, money is of a higher agenda here to a woman than Western countries. It's not only a woman, it's men as well. Even though it is often an agenda for women across the world. A lot come from poorer backgrounds with a poor education than what Westerners usually receive, with lack of world knowledge, and from watching too many Hollywood movies, they have become under the impression all foreigners are rich. Yeah, well, they find that out that's wrong relatively quickly if you're not like stupid with money. Having never visited another country, they have never witnessed the fact Westerners must work hard and save hard to enjoy a holiday in Thailand. They simply see with their eyes what goes on around them. And here is an example. The average monthly wage is approximately 12,000 baht. It's actually between 15 and 25, depending on who you listen to and if it's the median wage or whatever. So when they see Westerners here on holiday spending 1,000 baht on a meal or 1,000 baht in a bar drinking and buying rounds, they come to the automatic conclusion we are rich with big spending power. The thought process that you have saved up for 2 years to have a 2-week holiday here by working 6 days a week, overtime, long hours, will not cross their minds. That's true. And I gotta say that I have talked to some women in my life here, especially in the beginning of when I first moved here. I would say, so how much do you really need to have a good life? Mailu, what's your budget? Mailu. So how do you, if you don't know how much you need, well, I make what I make. I understand that, but you need to be able to set goals. You need to figure out, okay, well, if I'm making, $300 a month, and another 100 will make my life a lot better, then you really need to shoot for that 400 somehow. And maybe that motivates you. But they couldn't fathom that. And I'd say, well, so, what is a good amount of money? And some of them would say, if I had $100,000 in the bank, I would never have to work again. And I'm like, oh God, that's not gonna cut it, honey. I mean, even if you're living off of 5,000 baht a month, that's not going to go very far. Now, let me get back here. Thailand and Thai women are all about face. Well, it is important, but it's not as important as it was 30 years ago, 50 years ago. If she were to take her foreign partner back to meet her family and neighbors, you will usually find it would be customary and expected that the foreigner pays for everything for everybody during the meet and greet of the family, even down to paying for the neighbors to join you at dinner or for drinks and so on. Well, that can be true, yes. This is the Thai lady's way of showing higher class society, as it is widely thought that a Thai woman who bags herself a foreign boyfriend is now rich, again down to poor education of real world facts and real world experience. Yeah, most definitely. I am sure plenty of Thai guys have been taken for a ride too. Men and women use each other all over the world. Exactly. They get taken too. Now, they don't generally have the same mentality as the knuckleheads, the chowderheads who come here and they, you know, after an hour they've fallen in love, but they will kiss the girl's ass to get in their pants, literally. They will do whatever they have to do to get in their pants, and then once they get in their pants, they're like, all right, you know, hey, honey, and you know, some of them they're playing the game too. They're like, hey, honey, you know, I don't have any money right now. You pay for the drinks, you know, that kind of thing. It will not be uncommon for her family and friends to start asking for money. You have the foreigner boyfriend, send money to us, please. And that's when you go, no, you got to cut them off. If it's an emergency or if it's a one-time thing or, you know, it happens once in a great while, that's a little different. You know, sometimes, you know, it just happens, but for the most part, yeah, I mean, like, I've never got that from my wife, where she's like, you need to give me this much, and that way I can give to my mother. Nah, I mean, even when she wasn't working, she always had money. And, I mean, when she wasn't working, you know, like a job she has now, she always had enough money to send her mother a couple thousand baht for medicine and stuff like that. And, you know, there's only been one time, I think, where it was like, hey, listen, the whole family has to come together because her bill's going to be fairly large. And she was at a government hospital, and it ended up, you know, it cost a bit of money, but everybody had to stay in a hotel, everybody had to travel, everybody had to basically fork over for her to stay in the hospital. And, you know, it was like, you help out a little bit. I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about when you get the girls and they're just flat out, they think, you know, oh, well, you're rich, give me money. You know, that's just, it doesn't work that way. You know? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty lucky now, and you know, one of the things that I was told when I first got here is marry an orphan. You're gonna get married, marry an orphan. And, you know, I've been with my wife for a long time, but her father passed away a long time ago before I even met her. And her mother passed away a few years ago. And other than that, and her mother was really cool. Her mother was very quiet, and she loved the kids, and she loved that I was good to the kids, and I loved them, and, you know, she was about as good as you get. If you wanted a good mother-in-law, she was a really good mother-in-law. You know, she would tell me and my wife, oh, you know what, you guys go have some dinner or something. I'll watch the kids, you know. I want to watch them. And then we would just tell them, hey, be good for grandma. Okay. It was fantastic, you know. So sometimes you get lucky. Thai orphan Cupid. Orphan Thai Cupid, yeah, whatever it is. You know, I think, and Sasha, you know this, I think, and several others here know it. But I think if you go in and you're like, oh, my girl has no marketable skills, she isn't working, she doesn't really want to work, she's just looking to hook up with somebody who's going to make sure she's taken care of, then what do you expect? I mean, you know, if she doesn't have any way of earning, and, you know, it's listen, if you love the girl and you want to be with her, it's going to cost you some money. So don't be surprised when she goes, "Oh, yeah, I need 15,000 every month, 20,000 every month." You know, most of them who. That's why I always go. If you really want, I mean, you know, some guys don't want it. They want their girls to be, you know, uneducated and needy, and that way they're never going to leave them as long as they keep paying their way. They'll never leave their man. But then the other guys, you know, they want an educated, smart woman who they can take out to a place, and you know they're going to be comfortable there. And if you do that, generally I think it's a little bit easier to navigate the whole money issue. I think it's much easier. I don't take care of them. I pay just a bit more than half on the rent, so no money to them directly. Will pay for food and stuff, but not all. No unemployed ladies either. Yeah. Hey, listen, it's one thing if the girl's got a job, she loses her job. She's like, shit, I don't have a job. I'm going to look for a job. And she's looking for one, and she's really working hard to look for a job, and she gets a job. Okay, great. That's fine. But on the whole, if you got one that is just like, you know, no, I don't, you know, nah, I no working. Why not? Oh, I don't have any work. Cannot see the work. You know, I don't know. You damn sure you better be prepared to take care of them. And if you're not, and you better be prepared to set some boundaries. Because if you're not, then you're going to have problems. There's going to be issues, you know? I pay 75% of the rent so she can save her money to buy an iPad or fancy purse. So now you have a steady one, Sasha? I like the setup I have with my wife, you know. She pays for certain things, I pay for certain things, and it works out very well. Mine graduated from uni in Singapore just before the COVID, then all the rules changed here, and now there is little to no chance of her being hired here. Yeah, well, that's, you know, I mean, and the other thing is, do they appreciate when you, if you do help them? Do they appreciate it, or are they just like, do they expect it? There is a difference. Now, I'm alone, but have a few coming in and out. Oh, okay, I got you. It's not a bad thing. Here we go. Cannot come in. Every day, never fails. I don't know why they don't just put a goddamn sign. 11 to whenever they close, 9 o'clock or whatever. I don't know what time they close here. I think it's 9. Let me see here. But some of these are really good. While true love can be found, typically, not all cases, a Thai woman not interested in benefiting or out for financial gain or status do not date Western women. That is slowly, very slowly changing. But many of them still, they wouldn't even consider it because they don't want to bring some foreigner home to their family. And in fact, I gotta say, I'll tell you the truth. When my wife's mother found out that she was with me, and she met me, she flat out said right in front of me. She said to my wife, she said, you still haven't graduated school, and you, what did she say? She said, you haven't graduated school yet, but she was going to graduate in like 3 months. You haven't graduated from school yet. You have a boyfriend, and she had told her not to get a boyfriend until she was done with school. And oh my God, she's with a foreigner. Like, you know, oh my, she's with a foreigner. I can't believe it. And I was like, you know, like, listen, why are you giving me that slap in the face? I'm like, well, what's the deal? You know. And then once she saw that I treated my wife really well and I treated my kids well, and she came around, she was great, you know. I mean, she was such a nice lady, you know. Again, this is not all, but I would say from my experience of living here, 85%. 85% of really good girls won't date Western men. I don't know that it's that high, but I've seen Thai women who've been in a relationship with Western men for many years while the going was good, but then the man falls in some bad luck and isn't earning as much as he was before, and they just leave and find a new man rather than remain supportive and fighting on as a team. Yeah, so in that sense, I'm lucky because I used to make a hell of a lot more money than I make now. For many, if the pot runs dry and there's nothing left to gain, they just change partners. Enjoy, but proceed with caution. There you go. That sums it up in a sentence. Hey, enjoy them, but proceed with caution. Now I want to see this one here. We got a few minutes left here. My wife's job is to take care of me and my daughter. I got it. Good morning, good morning. That works for some, and it's not open yet. I want to see somebody like really push the door open hard and they break the window, they break the glass. For the first 7 or 8 years of my kid's life, my wife didn't work, and I told her not to. And she graduated. She's capable of getting a good job, which she did. She worked her way up. And I said, I want you to bond with the kids. And she did. And I think that was a wise move on my part. And it was at a time when I made enough money where we didn't have to really worry about money at all. And, we didn't need the extra income or anything like that. So, but then their tuition was a lot less back then as well. Good morning, Scott. Yes, good morning. Hi, Dave. Got to love Thailand. Let me see here. Bond with the kids, best thing we can ever do. I think it was a good move. I mean, I know how I was when I was a kid, and I was a fucking terror. I terrorized my parents. I mean, they had to worry about me coming home and crashing the car into the wall of the house, that kind of thing, or me going out and taking my car and doing burnouts in somebody's front yard, or somebody doing burnouts in our front yard, or going out and egging somebody's house and getting caught, or shooting some kid in the ass with a BB gun, which I did, and the cops turning up at my door. I can laugh about it now. Oh, man. I was difficult, and my kids are nothing like that. So I'm very grateful, and I never forget that they can change very easily. If I start seeing some signs, then I better, I really better nip it in the bud. Spent the first 15 years of my children's life busting my tail working and missed so much of their childhood. Yeah, I mean, I was very lucky because I was working and I was making good money, but I was only really working from 1 o'clock to about 6, like 5 days a week. And then 6 days a week. And then what was good is that, we would have fights or whatever. And then everybody would just be off. Nobody would have a fight for like another 2 or 3 weeks. So I'd still get paid. I wouldn't be working. And, everybody would have their time off. Then we'd all come together. So I get to spend all that time with them. And then even when I was writing for the magazines and for, couple newspapers and shooting photos, I'd be gone for, a couple days, maybe a week. And I'd come back and I would just be at home all the time writing and editing photos and stuff like that. So I had plenty of time with the kids. So in that regard, I feel really lucky, and I think that it did help. But you got to do what you got to do first and foremost. Tee up with a female Thai golfer and bring some spare balls. Leave it to Monash. My family life started when I retired. Wow. I spent the first 50. Okay, I saw that. American Dream. I don't miss it. Yeah, I never had the American Dream. I was single. Well, I had girlfriends, but I was never on the verge of getting married. Really, I never really talked about it. Like, we should get married. It was like, nah, I don't think so. Even I just lived with them. I just lived with them. It was just like, okay, it's not working out. I'm moving out, or you got to move out. I was in heating and air conditioning. Oh, that's funny because I was going to do that at one point for 30 years of work, after hour, and I missed all my kids' life, young life. Anyway, it sucked. Yeah, I'll tell you something. I'm gonna put some photos up of my kids running around like on the beach or something, and me and my wife just hanging out with them. One of these days I'll put some of that up. But man, it was so enjoyable because like now they're their own men. They got things they're doing. They want to go places. Yesterday, I don't even know what time Alex came home, but he's like, "Hey, I'm going out." I'm like, "What do you mean you're going out?" "Yeah, I'm going out. I'm gonna go meet one of my friends and have some dinner with him." "You got money?" "Yes." "Okay. All right. I'll see you later." Nicholas was out. Then Nicholas is asleep. The wife comes home. "Where's everybody at?" "Oh, Nicholas is asleep. Alex is out." "Oh, I brought everybody dinner." And so it's difficult to get us all together now. When they were little, it was like we were their whole world, and they were so sweet. And now they're like, "I'm not going to do that." Before it was, "I want to go do the dishes to help you." Now it's like, "Oh, it's his turn to do the dishes." That kind of thing. Hey, thanks a lot there, Bring Hose and F. Appreciate that. Hi, Scott. Do you think they ever let unvaxxed into the... You mean they'll ever let unvaxxed into the country without a quarantine? Or do you think they'll keep this circus going for years to come? I think they're going to, if you're not vaccinated, I don't think they're going to let you in without a quarantine, at least for a couple of years. Maybe two, I'm going to say 2 years. I think it's just going to be a slow maybe in a year, but the way that they're doing things here and how safety conscious they are supposedly they are, I don't see it happening, like to where you can just go, "Well, I'm not vaccinated, I'm coming into Thailand." No, they're going to be like, "Well, you're going to have to quarantine." Now, it might be a week, and they might, test you once before you leave, once when you get here, once in the middle of your little thing, and once before you get out. I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, they're very... and I don't want to say strict because that's not really the right word. I think they're so fearful of having a breakout that they don't even seem... Well, maybe they do realize it, and they don't give a shit, or they want it to happen. But so many places have shut down, and the people have already found other ways. People adapt, and so there's a lot of things. That's why I said with the bars, some of the bar owners are gonna be like, "Fuck that! I'm not opening another bar up. Why? I don't want to get involved in it. I'm not gonna do it." And some of the girls are like, "Why would I go back there? I can go online and make $500 in one night. All I gotta do is finger bang myself or something, and get a couple guys on the hook, and I'm making $5,000 a month." Whereas they go to some bar and they gotta bang all these guys that they don't want to bang, and maybe they're making $2,000. And they really gotta work hard for it. Plus they're getting drunk every night, and that wears on them. That ages them quick. I see AS was wearing matching colors, blue cap and shirt. I need to know his footwear blue, never mind the undies. Said he's got throwaway undies, Steven. I don't know about his shoes, though. If you take a look, I think you can see there's a part where he's walking towards me with a soda. Maybe you can see the color of his shoes there. There is another video coming up with him in it. It was just taken the same day, but it's a little bit different subject, so it'll be on Wednesday. What's today? Tuesday? Today's Monday, so Wednesday, yeah. I'm enjoying my Thai wife's children, who are now my blood children. As far as I'm concerned, enjoying their lives, which is very enjoyable. Yeah, my buddy Scott when I got here, he met this woman. She's a little bit older than him, and she had lost her husband, and she had two really, really young kids. I mean, babies. And he raised them, and now now he's a grandfather. They're like in their early 20s, and they graduated from school, and he's seen them grow up, and he's always talking about them and visiting with them and stuff like that. I think it's great. Listen, for me, and I said this yesterday, what's most important is just that I know when I go, whether it's slowly, quickly, in 1 hour or 10 years or 20 years, that when I go, they're prepared and they're financially stable, and that they're able to earn, and they really won't have to worry all that much any more than anybody else, as long as they decide they want to work hard, and they're not going to be lazy, and what else can I do? That's what's most important. I like the humor of Andy, how he grabbed back his fork from him. Andy. Don't make it spicy. She didn't put any spices in it. The only thing is that when you get the noodles, the mama noodles, they have all these things already. They have an oil, they have, I forget what else it is, but they have this oil in it, and they have like a little bit of red peppers. And in order to make it, most people, they just pour it in there and they just mix it up. She probably poured in part of the pack that had the pepper in it, and it's pepperish. It's like you can taste a little bit of red pepper, just a tiny bit. It's not like, oh my God, that's so spicy. Not at all. And she probably did that. Now, I told her, don't make it spicy. To her, she's like, that's not spicy, it's just a little pepper, So that's why she put it in there, and he was complaining about it. And that's why I ended up getting more food, because I thought, I want him to enjoy some of it. So, family life here is like back in the 50s in the U.S. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good comparison. I don't know if it's the 50s, but yeah. Thanks, Scott. You're always streaming at 3 in the morning. Glad to finally catch a live. Well, what time? Where are you now? You must be in the Scandinavian countries or somewhere. I don't know, or in the UK or something. Listen, if you guys have any ideas for streams about women or relationships, UK, okay, that's what I thought, or just cultural abnormalities as you see it, or major cultural differences that makes you wonder why you moved to Thailand, or whatever it might be, leave it down in the comments once the stream is over with, and let me know what you think, because I'm always curious, and I'm always thinking about it. And I was going to go to another cafe today, but what happens is I do a walk. I go for a walk in the morning, or I've got something to do and I'm editing, or I'm writing, or I'm just like, I'm behind, and I've got to make the coffee, and I've got to, clean up a little bit or something. And then I'm like, shit, it's, by the time I get there, it's going to be 10:30 or 10 o'clock or something. I'm like, I don't want to stream that late, because the majority of people are already going to be asleep, or they'll be on for 10 minutes and they'll be like, I got to go, I'm going to sleep. I do want to do a video about the history of toilets. I've already read from that book a long time ago, what your poo tells about you. But I would like to do something about toilets, and I have done a little research on it. So that might be a good stream, but you know, we'll see. 24 degrees here in Perth, perfect weather. Yeah, well, it's right now it's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit here, and there's almost no wind, and it's 73% humidity approximately here. So, but anyway, yeah, I want to go. I think maybe tomorrow I'm gonna go to somewhere. It might even be around my neighborhood. It might not be a place that you guys necessarily want to come. It might be somewhere different. There is a place I'd like to go, but I'm not sure if it's going to be open by the time I want to stream. And there's several places around here that are pretty cool. So maybe I'll go to a place tomorrow, and I'll you know, we'll go somewhere a little different and figure something out worthwhile and fun to talk about. Because quite frankly, I'm sick of talking about the vaccines and the virus and the, you know, do you believe me yet? You know. And for the record, I'm not watching any of the Winter Olympics. I really don't care. No offense to all the athletes that have worked hard to get into it, but it's in China. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Monash, how are you doing? Everything A-okay? I miss a lot of those streams because I got switched to late night instead of day shift. End up at 3 a.m., so normally sleep later than this. Yeah, you know, I think in order to make the streams really, for me to, I would like to start making these, and I've said it for a while, that I'd like to turn these into podcasts. But I think that for the benefit of some people, it would pay for me to at least once a week do a night stream, you know, an evening stream or something like that. I am so out of it, I didn't even know the Olympics were on. Well, like I said, it's in China, and the CCCP is pulling their same old shit. I don't know if you saw about the commentator who was on TV, and the security was like pushing him away, going, no, 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 because he had said something. I don't know what it was. Jamie, how you doing, man? Saw Dad in aged care yesterday. I said, hey, Dad, I had some color put in my hair. It looks terrible, like it's painted on. Bless him. Well, I'd be like, why the hell you coloring your hair? Yesterday, Nicholas said to me, I noticed that a lot of the people in our school are coloring their hair. They got blue and green and pink. I go, is that what you want? You already got long hair. You really want to color your hair? And he's like, no, I don't want to color my hair. I'm like, well, then don't. Don't worry about it. Let them do what they want to. They want to be different. That's how they show they're different. You're already different. You're a little snowflake. You're different in every way. No, I don't say he's a snowflake, but we are all different, but we're also the same, you know. It's kind of like same, but different. Actually, I got to, I went and looked at that guy's, well, he's got a couple of channels, this Andrew Tate guy. The guy used to be a kickboxer. And, you know, I like some of his stuff. Some of his stuff, it wasn't my cup of tea, but whatever. And I did see that he was on a show, and I looked at the show, and then I noticed, oh, what's this link right here? I clicked on the link, and it took me to Spotify. Spotify, I didn't even know this. Spotify has a website called Anchor, and apparently you can do podcasts through there, but I haven't really researched it. And I would like to do it just because it might make it easier for some people to listen, you know, as opposed to sitting here watching me. Well, apart from a Mr. Mallon saying I looked 62, I had a haircut and saw gray all over the floor. The hairdresser had a great idea. You sound like my wife. Seriously, my wife's like, don't you see all my gray hair? And I'm like, no, I don't. And once in a while, I'll go, oh, now I see some. She's got a little bit of gray right there. You know, it'll be like 1 or 2 strands of hair if it doesn't look the same. And I won't say anything, but I'm like, no, I don't see any gray fucking hair in your hair. You don't need to dye it. And what does she do? I'm going to the hairdresser. So she goes to the hairdresser and dyes it. I'm like, I liked your hair the other way. You know. Dark brown hair to match your eyebrows, she says. Oh, well, you're in the public eye there, Monash. I'm not. Well, yeah, I am, but not really. I can get away with murder on this stream, pretty much. You know, I can have a shitty beard. I can have stubbles. I can have, hey, man, I'm like so smashed on tequila. Actually, the other day I drank that tequila, and at first I was like, damn, I got a nice little buzz going. And so then when I was like, all right, after an hour, so I had a meal, I was like, hey, I'm fine. Didn't even feel it anymore. But then I thought, and I haven't even looked it up, but I have some of this coffee tequila, and I need to research it and see, can I put it in espresso or just like an Americano, and how's it gonna taste? How can I make it taste really good? So I may do that, and maybe at night I'll have a nice, I'll have a stream where I'm drinking some tequila, some coffee tequila, or maybe I'll just have an Irish coffee. I don't know. People are so nice. Oh, come on, Monash. You know what? Just get used to it. You're getting old. You look more distinguished with that gray hair. And, all I would suggest is maybe, if you got all gray ball hairs, you can dye those. And that way, your woman's not going to look at it and go, oh, he's old. Oh, God. Anyway, you know what? I can't remember who it was that was talking about the Manscaped today. But I need to start pushing that again because I've forgotten all about it, to be quite honest. But, if you want to get some Manscaped products, you can get the lawnmower for down yonder. It will not nick you. There's the nick your sack money back guarantee. You want to get some underwear, you want to get some cream to make everything down there nice and smooth and clean and feeling good, to make you sabai. Just use the code MALIN20. Go to manscaped.com and use the code MALIN20. 20 the number. That's all you got to do. You get a little discount, you get 20% off. I think it's a good deal. Dark-skinned student in my class said, hey, you look like me now. All you have to do is change skin color. Ooh, are they allowed to say that? Can they get away with that? I didn't know that they could. What was I watching the other day? What the hell was the show? Oh, Seinfeld. I was watching Seinfeld the other day. And they were talking, about different, he's colored and he's this and he's that. And then I was like, holy shit, I don't think they could do that in today's world. People would be screaming bloody murder. Just 20 years or whatever it was. 20 years, what a difference it makes. Listen. I'm starting, now that I'm getting older, I'm not just white, and when I go out in the sun, I get like a little red, and then I get a nice brown tan on me. That's how it used to be. Now I'm older and I'm still white, and when I go out I get red, but I got freckles. Because I'm a Caucasian, and I'm like an Irish Caucasian. I think I got some red hair in me. I got some ginger in me. Which, you know what? Before I leave, I want to read this. The ones that said I look younger are all passing. I wanted to read this passage. Let's see here. My wife has said on many occasions that she'd like to have Jamie Lee Curtis's body. Now, this is 15 years, this article. It's from Jeremy Clarkson, 15 years ago. She'd like to have Jamie Lee Curtis's body, and I agree. I'd very much like to have Jamie Curtis's body, her to have Jamie Curtis's body. But it cannot happen because life is not fair. Some people win the lottery and some don't. If you are born to a wealthy, intelligent family, then you will go to Eton, get a brilliant education, and work, and end up having expended almost no effort and no effort at all in a hedge fund, wealthy and contented. Hey, Andy, if you are born ugly and with ginger hair to a stupid family, things are likely to be a little more difficult. However, here's the thing. I absolutely support legislation that forces employers to consider people from all walks of life, no matter how much they dribble or how many times a day they need to pray. Sure, for every idiotic Stan who wants to become Loretta and have babies, there's a Douglas Bader who overcame the loss of his legs to get back in a Spitfire, or a Michael Bolton who overcame that astonishing haircut to become a pop star. Ian Dury, Franklin D. Roosevelt, David Blunkett, Admiral Nelson. History is littered with disabled people who have not just got by but got on. Andrew Lloyd Webber, I didn't know this, made it even though at some point in his teenage years his face melted. And every year, 200,000, this is the line that got me. And every year, 200,000 people have to overcome the massive problem of being born American. I'm not sure what that means. So if I were an employer and wanted a footballer, I'd get someone who was good at football and wouldn't care where they were from, what shape they were, or even if they were a horse. If I wanted a secretary, I'd get someone who could type and wouldn't care how long her legs were or if she had sumptuous breasts. Wouldn't care much. In fact, there's only one type of person I'm not going to read that. Anyway, I think that about sums it up. Andy, enjoyed seeing you on the latest video. Oh yes, Andy. You were a standout star. Anyway, Andy, have you got tested yet? Or did you get your result yet? Just dragging around Sawtorn area. Can't check in until 2. Wow. Andy was color coordinated. There's another video coming up, like I said, on Wednesday. Let me see here. All right, this is I believe that's the video you're referring to about how to feast out on a budget, which for Thai veterans, not a big deal, but for some people they'd be like, ooh, I could eat all that? That's less than the cost of you know what? All those meals, all those dishes combined, those 4 dishes that we had cost less than it cost for one dish of pad Thai in the United States. Seriously. It's at least $8 for, if you get a plate of pad Thai that's on special, like a lunchtime special. all the way up to about $13. What we had 4 plates, and it was $6.51. So, in my book, that works out pretty well. I'm colorful, but not color coordinated. Well, it's not important. It's only important if you want to like impress somebody. I don't care if I impress you guys or not. But if you're going out on a date with a hot chick, you know, you probably don't want to wear your underwear on your head and your socks on your hands, you know, and the colors don't work together. It's pretty amazing when you think about it like that, don't you think, Stephen? Oh, thank you, you bastard. Anyway, I don't know what the total amount we've been streaming, but I think it's about 3 hours. Because I started at 8:30, it's 11:30, but this is take 2 because of the first one going down. So, total of about 3 hours. But if you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about what we're talking about here. There's a Thai food buffet just on the north side of Lumpini Park. This is 45 baht. I want to go check it out at some point. Yeah, food and accommodation is a winner chicken dinner for expats. Got the result midnight. Could have left hotel, but no point. Yeah. I mean, for the most part here, the stuff is, well, it used to be 40 baht. It used to be a lot cheaper, but then it went up to 40, 45. And like the dish we had, what the hell was it? The Khao Khao Mu. That one, they just raised the price. You can see they crossed it over. 50 baht, boom, crossed it up to 55, you know. Oh, 45 all you can eat. Well, you can't beat that. That's pretty damn cheap. I always get a laugh with my Billy Bob teeth. The shock on a lady's face is when I first remove my mask is priceless, but when they laugh and laugh. See, that's the difference between you and me, Mr. Mitch. I don't give a shit if they laugh. I don't care if they laugh or not. They can laugh at me. I don't need to put any teeth in. Well, you know, one thing about the Thais is that the way that a good Thai dish comes together is that you have something that's a little chewy, something that's a little crispy, something that's a little sweet, something that's a little spicy, something that's you know, might have some texture, something that's smooth. They put it all together, they mix it up, and somehow it works. You know, they're very good at that. I waste food. I cook it and throw it away. 2 nights ago, I was at a Mexican place in Singapore. 80 Singapore dollars for a pitcher of margaritas. Holy shit. Yeah, that's something about Singapore, I've forgotten about, but I don't particularly like it. And that is the expense. There are a lot of happy soy dogs and cats near my place. Again, if you're in Thailand, or maybe in certain areas they have it in the Netflix, but if you look at something, there's a show on. It's called, and you can probably find it online somewhere. There's a show called Midnight Asia, and one of the episodes and it's about food and food areas in different locations of the world. I believe just Asia. And yeah, well, it's Midnight in Asia, I think is what it's called. And they put up a place in Bangkok, and I really want to go hit that area up, so I may go do that. I don't know. I'll get around to doing it. That's what I'm going to say. But the show was very, very good. And I find when they really focus on out-of-the-way places, or out of the way when it comes for foreigners, where most foreigners may not visit them. That's what I like, you know. And of course, the food is really good, and they got drinks there. Yeah, Singapore. I mean, I spent a lot of time in Singapore, and it's, for me, it's the kind of place where if you want to go shopping and you want to be there for 3 or 4 days, it's a wonderful place. If you got money you stay in a nice hotel, you know, you go out, you have a drink, you have a nice dinner, you go do a little shopping, you know, that sort of thing, then it's great. But if you live there, forget about it. Especially if you want to have a car, oh my God, it's just you know, it's too much. Sure is, always has been, as long as I can remember. Yeah, I mean, I started going there, I don't know how long, 18, 20 years ago, something like that. Just saved Midnight Asia in my Netflix watch list. Looks good. Yeah, some of them rate higher than others, you know, some of the individual episodes. I think Tokyo is quite good, Manila is quite good, and Bangkok is good. And I think there's only 6. So, you know, I don't remember the other ones, but I always like watching those. Because then I go, hey, I know where that area is. You know, or, oh, I remember that place, you know. There's quite a few shows on that have things about Bangkok. I don't remember the last one, but they had a really nice place where this Thai woman she was born in the UK to British and a Thai parent, and then they moved to Thailand, and she was like, I think, or she moved back after she graduated university, and then she went to culinary school, and she opened this really hip place in Bangkok. I don't know if it's still open. I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, that's the thing about, listen, say what I'll bitch and moan as much as I will. There are some fantastic places to eat here, and some of them are expensive, and some of them are like, you just go, what the hell, man? I paid $5 for this, and this is the best meal I've had in years, you know, that kind of thing. Or I've never had a bowl of noodles like this before. So, can't go wrong, man. Can't go wrong. Yeah. All right, well, you know what? It's time for me to call it a day and head on over. I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I have some things to do. Yeah, I know I got some things to do. I just have to think about what the hell am I supposed to do, because I came over here so early. I ran over here because I wanted to have some time to get set up. I ran over here, and now I've been here sitting here for 4 hours, and I don't remember what the hell I was supposed to do. So, but before I leave, do me a favor, leave a thumbs up. Absolutely free. You just click the thumbs up button. You can subscribe. That would be nice. Click the notification bell. Click the contribute through PayPal link. Click the join button down below to become a sponsor of my channel. $1.99. Come on. My goal is to get like 1,000 members at $2 a pop. Of course, I don't get all of that, but then we could have members only streams where there's a good number of members in the chat. So consider it. Anyway, there's all kinds of ways you can help. Watching is one of them, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys joining me. But leave a thumbs up. I'd very much appreciate that. And I guess that's all we got. And like I said, if you got something that you'd like to talk about, whether it's relationships, culture, chicks, whatever, I'm tired of talking about COVID. I'm tired about the vaccine and all these other things. You know, so let's talk about some fun things. What is this here? Jesus Christ. I don't know what you're talking about.
LOL, I watched your black video.
What black video? For an oh, it must be, she must be talking about the stream from earlier this morning. Well, since you're not somebody who really comes into this chat very often, and since I'm 60 fucking years old and I really don't give a fuck what your stupid ass thinks, you're fucking out of here, honey. See you later. Bye-bye, you twat. Oh, God. You got what, 4 subscribers? Like everybody cares. Fucking ugly bitch. Oh, she's a skank for sure. She's a skank. Skanky bitch. Is she a woman? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Looks like it could be something a little different, but, you know, not that there's anything wrong with that. But it could be a, you know, in between. Who knows? You never know nowadays. You know, and I'm just a little old, confused old man. I know nothing. I'm like Sergeant, was it Sergeant Schultz? Sergeant Schultz from Hogan Heroes. I know nothing. I know nothing. I know nothing. Hottie Poo COVID and Chatterheads, always good standbys. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And girls. And ugly troll women. And ugly troll men. Ugly skanks. You know, that's all we got. It's time to say goodbye. It's time for me to fly. Thank you, Mr. Mitch. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate that. And, well, listen, Mr. Monash, I just call it like I see it, man. You know, I'm getting up there. When am I gonna, you know, when is it okay to say I'm old? I'm a senior citizen here, you know, and I am, you know, so that, you know what that makes you? You're a senior citizen. Wow. Well, you got a little gray going on in you there, Mr. Mitch, but you know, obviously my beard has a lot of gray when you see it when it's rather large. But my hair, what little hair I have, there's a lot of gray in it. Choke Dina Crop, have a lovely day. By the way, where are your gray hairs? Come clean. What brand of dye do you use? I don't use no dye, but you know what? You can see it in my beard big time, and you know that. And in my hair, on my head, it is there. And I don't like having hair on my head anymore. So, anyway. Thank you very much. And, yeah, you know, if I didn't feel physically old, I would not feel, you know, mentally I don't feel that old. Physically, that's a different story. I feel banged up, which is, if you're not banged up at the end, you didn't live your life to the fullest. You didn't live hard. Oh, God. Take some B12. Get a testosterone shot. Take some Motrin, and you'll be just fine. Yeah, you missed the news. You missed it, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, it's been fun. Oh, God. It's time to go. I'll see you guys later, all right? Take it easy. Choke D, Lil Jerk, and I'm Scott. I am an American in Bangkok. See ya.